Weeb Grana Weeb Nitty Ball. It's time now to take a look at Transformers, Robots in Disguise, Warrior, Strongarm. That's right, it's the second figure from the first wave of the upcoming cartoon show. And yeah, they've if you don't know, Warrior is the new deluxe class. They renamed it. They kept Legion class, but there's not so far going to be a Commander or a Voyager class to go along with them. Instead, we're getting a 1-step and 3-step changer, all of which are on the shelf now, at least at Toys R Us. As you can see, she's very blue. She's got an interesting head. When I first saw pictures of the head on TF Wiki, I'm like, well, that looks dumb. And then I read the bio they had, and it said she. I'm like, wait, she? Okay, yeah, the head looks fine. It's a very girlish head. Works for a girl. The package has no bio information. The only thing I've been able to get is from TF Wiki itself, which I don't know where they get their information, so... but she's supposed to be an elite guard cadet, and from what I gather, it's basically a female version of the original Prowl. And like all the figures, she has the barcode ring for the app game, which is... it doesn't look bad, and considering she's supposed to be an elite guard, I could see having a bigger symbol. I wish it was on the back, but... now, a couple of things, little nitpicks. One, you can see the hands have the Carport boxing gloves, which I know some people are going to absolutely hate. There is some molded detail. You can see segments on the fingers. So they did actually detail it. They just put the car around it. My biggest complaint with this is the way she transforms. Both of her arms work in tandem with this joint, and the chest does not snap in place. I mean, it doesn't fall down. I mean, it's secured there, but it doesn't hold that. If you squeeze hard enough, it'll work. It's not helped by the fact that these ball joints in her shoulders are very tight. She also has a lot of kibble. So the shoulder kibble hits the backpack. You can pull the backpack out of the way, but it doesn't look as good, especially when you see it from the back. And these can flatten out pretty, if you get the arms out of the way, quite a bit. In the package, she's packaged like this, with it kind of as a coat tails or something, which you could do if you wanted. I like the winged look, especially for something that's kind of, Prowl's little sister or something like that. But she's got decent range of movement when you can get it to move right. Thanks to transformation, she got a double jointed elbow. Waist goes all the way around. Great legs. Excellent range of movement in the legs, and humongous feet. Chunky monkey feet. She might be like the bodybuilder type, rather than the more feminine shaped RC from Prime, but I don't know for sure yet. I'm looking forward to the cartoon. And like Bumblebee, she's very angular. I'm sure it's just going to be the art style. They're going to have a lot of square angles and not a lot of roundness. I mean, there's a little curvature here, but everything else is a corner. Now, she comes with a gun. The gun looks pretty cool outside of the weapon discharge. It's constantly in a state of firing. I don't really like that. I would have rather seen it be just a longer barrel, because that doesn't look that great. So I like the length it adds, but I wish it was just a barrel extension. It fits in her hand just fine, even with the car kibble in the way. So she can aim, she can shoot, she can arrest you. If you don't like her holding it, there's a peg on the back. She can peg it in like that, or you can use one of the two side posts and peg it in sideways, and swing it however you want. She looks like she's got a little tail. That might look bad. Transformation isn't quite as fidgety as Bumblebee's was, but there is a little bit to it. And they're simpler than the Generations figures are, but not overly so. Let me just go back so you can see it better. Look at that. And that double hinge is for the transformation, but it gives her some more movement in the forearm or the upper arms. She just kind of drops to do push-ups and then turns into a truck. And see, I don't know why these figures so far have been so fidgety. And it's like until you get everything done, it doesn't quite stay. She's not quite as bad as Bumblebee, but she still has the same problem. And this is worse than normal for me. There we go. And the hardest part is these door tabs. There's some nice slots in the front of the legs for that, but this tab here in particular, it almost needs to be smaller because it's rather difficult to get around. It's worse coming back out of it. And then you've got, squeeze everything together. If you don't lock securely, I mean, it stops and it won't move on its own, but if you push it, it'll go. Get everything squeezed together. And there you have the vehicle mode. A very light blue and white police pickup truck. I'd almost like to see them retool the light bar off, and I can see them giving us a gears or a swerve, since she's got the feet in the bed. I think it would work. They'd have to redo the chest. Excellent clearance for rolling. Look at that, I can fit my finger under there. However, you turn her over and oh my god, there's a robot under here. You can flip this like this, so it's just clear robot, which makes me think I can see her sitting somewhere, hiding in a garage somewhere, and some mechanic, especially a city garage, mechanic doesn't know, thinks it's an actual cop car, goes, rolls underneath it, and oh my goodness. But you're supposed to keep this down, and the reason being is the 3 holes are not just to keep the 3 tabs there. The center hole is for the gun. Use the side posts, storage, in vehicle mode. Or the same post that's on the back goes all the way through to the light bar. Now at first I didn't realize that. I thought this was the only way to store it in vehicle mode, and I was disappointed because I don't like that look. Now the idea of them running through town shooting stuff is okay, but just storing it, you do that too, which is a little less cumbersome. But then I noticed that the hole was a 5mm, so plug. I love that. And well, there you have it. Transformers. Robots in Disguise, Warrior, Strongarm. Till all are one.